Hey everybody, what's up? Luke here with Luke Talks Crypto, and I'm so excited to be talking about a brand new NFT project today. But before we get started, we got some housekeeping to do. Number one, hit that subscribe and like button. Like, smash all them buttons down there except for that dislike button, but it don't matter. YouTube broke it. It don't work no more. And then also make sure you're following Luke Talks Crypto on all the social media so that you can keep up with all the happenings within the stock market or the crypto market or the NFT market, really all of it. Just here to help you guys. And so, as always, I'm not a financial advisor. What am I? A dumb redneck YouTuber. And so these are my opinions and the opinions of the people in the video. So remember that, as always, do your own research. Please, that is key. That is just absolutely imperative. So today, what are we talking about? Well, I'm glad you asked, because today we're talking about Omni Legion NFT. Now, this was a project that I found through the Camp NFT project, which we'll talk about at another time. But I'm so glad that I did, because honestly, I think it's going to be an awesome project, and I'm so excited that today we have their founder, Joe Knows, here on the show with us. So let's kick it off. All right, Joe, thanks so much for being here, man. I appreciate you. You know, like I said, in the honor of transparency, I want to make sure that we get to know the teams behind some of these projects, and you're leading a really cool project. So why don't you tell me, like, the elevator pitch or the Twitter pitch, if you would, on your new project?
Yeah, so my project is called Omni Legion. It's an anime-based NFT project that my ultimate goal is to turn into a full-on anime show on YouTube and have, put out our first season and hopefully evolve it into multiple seasons. I come from a YouTube background. I've been doing YouTube for almost 5 years now. I've amassed almost 1 million subscribers, and, it's a space that I've had success in, and I know I can take the characters that we create in these NFTs, bring them to life throughout a show and multiple seasons of this anime that we plan to create. And I think that gives the project a different aspect and a different feel than any other NFT project. And it provides, a value in terms of the longevity of the project, knowing that the brand and these characters will be relevant because people will be watching the show.
Man, I love that. So you're basically getting to buy a movie star. Like, if we want to break this down a little bit, I mean, it's kind of a cool, different spin on this, because we're so used to seeing in the NFT space, like, cool, you got this ape, and it might get you to some cool things, and not to downplay any of that, but, like, man, to be able to own something and then see it within a production happening, like, that's pretty awesome.
Yeah, I mean, my inspiration for it, or the inspiration idea, whatever you want to say, was, thinking back to watching shows like Dragon Ball and Dragon Ball Z growing up, and thinking, if NFTs were around then and you minted one of the main characters, and now we're 20 years later and the show is still popular and relevant, I mean, imagine the value on one of those. So it's kind of like the beginning of what we've already seen happen. Is just now we have this whole new crypto and NFT space that we can kind of incorporate into it.
I love it. So before we jump a whole lot deeper into the project, I want to know more about you. So tell me about you. What just absolutely makes your days better? What's some of that for you?
Yeah, so for me, I mean, I've always been a big sports guy. I mean, my channel is based around, the game NBA 2K. It's a gaming channel that's also sports related. And, sports has always been a big thing for me. But also on the flip end of it, like I said, growing up watching Dragon Ball, I've always had this soft spot for anime and just, the storyline and the way you get attached to characters and their personalities. And I think that's something that I've always held near and dear to my heart. And that's where, I kind of took a detour away from what my channel has been and kind of wanted to go down this road with the anime and the NFTs.
Awesome. So let me ask this, because this is something I noticed in my life, and you may just tell me like I'm stupid for saying this, but which is okay. Lots of people tell me I'm stupid daily. I'm married and I have kids. But, if it just seems like in my life, there's this weird correlation between NBA fans and anime. And I feel like every anime fan friend that I have is big into NBA. Like, is that something that you notice, or am I just making stuff up over here?
No, you're absolutely right. I mean, there's literally NBA 2K content creators that base their, it's a basketball game, and they base their videos around anime themes. Like, they'll take anime characters and incorporate them onto the court and into the background, and they do these amazing edits with their gameplays, and even within the game itself, they have clothing from different animes that you can purchase for your virtual character. I mean, the worlds are definitely tied in. You see even NBA players that tweet about it or put them on their shoes, and it certainly is two worlds combined into one. It's crazy.
Which is crazy because it's never when I be like, oh yeah, I look at NBA and I think, oh, they're all anime fans. Like, and there's nothing wrong with either one of them, and it's just a weird pairing. And I've noticed it a lot, especially over the last probably 5 to 10 years with my friend group. And so it's been very interesting. So with basketball and anime colliding here, kind of, if you would, like, where do you see yourself? Because, obviously you do have a great YouTube following. You have a great YouTube channel. And for all of you that haven't, I'll make sure that link is dropped in the description here. So make sure you check that out. But like, what does it look like for you going forward? Because these are two pretty major products or projects, I should say. How do you see yourself kind of splitting that time and making sure that both are getting the love and attention they needed?
Yeah, I mean, it's to the point now. I mean, like I said, it's been almost 5 years growing my channel.
Right.
And it's definitely something that I'll continue to do. Okay. But you can even just look at my activity. I used to post every other day probably.
Right.
And in the last month or two, it's only been like once a week or once every 2 weeks. Like, my time has been into this project, and I'm going to continue to have it be into this project. I mean, I've had so much fun just working on it. Mm-hmm. Obviously, I mean, it's a ton of work. It's like 16-hour, 18-hour days, constantly communicating with people, explaining what the project is, what the vision is, how we're going to go about getting it out, getting the show produced and put onto YouTube. Mm-hmm. And it's challenging, but it's so enjoyable that, I'll continue to do my channel, of course, but this is my main priority right now.
Man, I love it. So what I'm hearing is that, your heart's kind of getting poured into this, and I love that kind of is your stance with it. So what's been, I mean, we get to see NFT projects, for the everyday user, we get to see them on the user end, if you would. We get to see the craziness that happens in the Discord chats, and the launch and the mints and the gas wars and all the crazy chaos that happens. But like, on your end, on the back end, like, what's been your favorite part so far, like, coming into the NFT community like this?
So my favorite part is definitely like the art and creating the characters and coming up with their backstories and how, those stories are going to tie into each other in the show. Definitely the creative side is the most enjoyable for me. I mean, being somebody that's been in video production for a long time, I mean, the thought of being able to put all my time and devotion into creating characters for a story is like a dream come true, and of course it's, it has its challenges, and every day is something new, and you're like, well, no, let's not do that, scrap that and start all over. And it has its challenges, but man, it's a lot of fun when you get on the creative end of it.
Absolutely. So, I hear you talking about the artistic side of it, and obviously your project has a incredible artistic side. Like, y'all's art is just surreal, to be honest. Like, I looked at it and I was just kind of blown away, because you see, there's a lot of projects that, they don't have as much, they're just art. And there's some that like really stand out. And I really do believe that y'all's really stands out, not just to an anime fan, but just to anybody. And so, as you start to look forward, obviously you'll have the art on point, but like, what are some of the other like big things that you kind of set y'all apart from some of these other NFT projects?
Yeah, so one thing, I mean, you see common in the space now is people saying, the end goal is to create a game or create an app where their NFTs, you can use the NFTs that you mint. And that's a cool idea. But my concern with a lot of those projects is they've never created an app or they've never created a game. So they have no idea how to tackle the challenges that are going to be coming. Mm-hmm. With our project, I've been in video production for 5 years. I know the challenges of YouTube. I know the challenges of figuring out the algorithm or getting people on board that can produce the quality of the content that you need.
Right.
And of course, putting out a whole show with multiple seasons, it's going to have challenges that I haven't experienced, but at least I've been in the space and shown that I've had success building a YouTube channel, building a YouTube brand. And I think that's something that gives a little bit of credibility and validation to the idea of our roadmap. And besides that, I mean, besides the credibility side of it, what also I think, we make it very community based. It's not just a show that I'm giving all the ideas for and everyone it's either you like it or you don't. We have a whole section in our Discord where people can provide ideas for certain characters, for the storyline and how things twist. So we're trying to make it not only a show that, me and my team are creating, but the community has a say in it as a whole.
Man, I love that. And that's big because obviously within the NFT space, it's all about the community, right? That's why a lot of people buy in, and especially over the past 2 to 3 years of the craziness going on in the world and a lot of lockdowns and that kind of stuff. Like, people are looking for that community so hard, and it's crazy how just cryptos, NFTs have really filled that void. And it's just crazy how many friends you meet by being in some of these communities. I mean, I've met some of what I now call some of my closest friends in some of these communities, which is really cool. And so I think that's awesome. And I think something you said that kind of really stood out to me is like you understanding YouTube, and that's huge. And a lot of people don't understand that, because a lot of people think, oh, I can start a YouTube channel and be famous and be rich, and I'm going to start making lots of money, and 1 billion people are going to come watch it. And that's just not the case. Like, YouTube is a beast. I've been working in this space for a long time, and I've got channels that have millions and millions of views on a regular basis. But then at the same time, like, I have channels that don't do anything. So like, it is a very tough space to navigate. So when you're talking about creating a series and getting it out to public, I think it's monumental for your end users to understand that, like, you're not just somebody who can start a YouTube channel and then post some videos. You're somebody that has the experience there to be able to continue to push that and continue to grow that in the ways that it needs to be grown, so that this can be a project that continues to build over time. And that's absolutely huge. And so, for all you watching, that I need you to understand how big of a thing that is. So moving kind of from there, obviously that whole having a series thing is the big thing on the roadmap. But like, what are some of the other things about your project that you're in love with? Maybe even some of the smaller things that people don't think about. Like, what are some things that you absolutely love outside of like the normal elevator talking pitch?
Yeah, I mean, on the smaller scale of it, things that I really enjoy. So, for example, one thing we do in our Discord right now is we call it Legion battles. So basically, it's kind of like a little bit of an art reveal and a teaser, but you also get to kind of support certain characters that you like. So what we'll do is we set it up like a tournament format, and we will have 16 of our NFTs, and they battle against each other. So in the Discord, everyone votes for which one they want, and then the winner moves on, and the winner moves on, and then eventually we have a champion of the night. And it's a cool little way to reveal the art, get the community involved, and have people, before they even know anything about the characters, you're almost building attachments already, because people are pulling for their favorite one, depending on which character traits they like the best.
Right. No, that's awesome. And again, that's where we start to see like some of that basketball and anime collide. Like, we're seeing that kind of that system, which is awesome, that playoff system. And so where you're moving to it's a cool space, and NFTs are relatively new to most people, and a lot of people don't understand why we buy these pictures, if you would. And so we're starting to see clarity in the utilitarian purpose of NFTs throughout the space, which is good. It's starting to be more than just a picture. We're starting to see things like this, things that create experiences. And so, for the new people that are coming in, like, what do you tell them about NFTs? How do you kind of explain to them, like, hey, this is more than just you're blindly investing in a picture? Like, what do you tell those new people?
Yeah, so I mean, especially with our project coming from my following, like you said, a lot of them are new into the space, which for me is a big, it's a big opportunity, not only for our project, but for the space as a whole. I mean, the more new people we can bring into the space, the better it is for every project and every investor and everyone interested in the space. The more people involved, the better it will become. Right. The better and the bigger it'll become. So it's a great opportunity. Now, actually explaining to people how this all works and what exactly NFTs are, it has its challenges, because like you said, people look at it and it's like, it's just a picture. Why would I spend money on it? And so what we did was we dedicated a whole section of our Discord for those new users. Like, I made a whole tutorial on just simple things that are simple to us but aren't simple to them, like setting up your MetaMask and understanding how Ethereum works, and we have a whole section also for what NFTs are, how do they work. And I tell people that reach out to me, I tell them, if you're new in the space, do not invest in anything you don't understand. That's my biggest thing. Of course, I want you to invest in my project because I believe in my project. But if you don't understand, just join the Discord and start to learn. learn about the space, learn about our project, learn about other projects, see if it's something you're interested in before you put any money into it.
Right, and ask questions, and that's something that's cool about your Discord. As I was kind of looking through it and watching the chat and that kind of stuff, like you have a helpful Discord, which is nice because sometimes it can be overwhelming, and sometimes for a new person, it's like walking, into the mall on Christmas. Like nobody wants to do that, and so it was nice being able to walk in and seeing people that wanted to genuinely help and wanted to answer questions, and so it's great to kind of almost have that safe space for new people coming in, and so just as a reminder for everybody that's watching, and I know Joe will back me up on this, but scammers are crazy right now. Like everybody's trying to get your money, and it's easier than you might believe because there's this idea of like FOMO, like the fear of missing out. And I love what you said a second ago, Joe, where it's like, hey, I want you to invest, but even if you don't, that's okay. Come in and learn. And I think that's huge. And what our industry is kind of missing right now is that narrative of like, just take a second, just breathe. Yes, there's a project that's launching, but what I always tell people is like, I would rather miss out on the project than miss out on my funds. And what I mean by that is like, it's, if I don't get in on the project, there's going to be more projects, or I'll be able to buy on OpenSea. Like there's lots of opportunities to invest. However, if I lose out on my funds because of a scammer, because I was, so rushed to make a decision and I ended up clicking on a link that wasn't a real link, then I've lost funds that I can't get back. And that sucks. And so, for everybody watching this, just know, especially if you're new, you're never going to get a DM from a project telling you or giving you a link and telling you to go click on that. And it's nuts how many of these. I mean, I feel like I shoot a video every single day about this because I get constant emails and messages and DMs like, oh, I lost my money. Is there any way to get this back? And that's one of the easiest scams to kind of prevent. At the end of the day is just don't click on links in your DM. The only links you should be clicking is on the official links page within the Discord. And so for all of you watching, just know that's a precaution to take, to kind of watch out for and know that like there's bad people and bad people suck. And we don't want to give bad people our money, do we, Joe?
We don't. Yeah, I mean, it's something that when you hear it, somebody watching the video, they're going to say, oh, I'm not going to get scammed. But you would be surprised how clever these people are in the space. They will make it look very, very official that it's the project that you just joined the Discord for. And now you're getting a DM from them saying you got an exclusive package deal because you won this giveaway, and now you're going to get it for 50% off. Just click this link. And nobody from any project should ever be DMing you a link.
Not a reputable project. That's right.
Nope, absolutely.
Yeah, so just please never believe those. Just know, always follow kind of what's happening there in the Discord. And so, I don't know how long you've been in the space, but tell me, like, what was what's kind of the biggest thing you've learned, maybe the biggest advice you have for new people, aside from like doing your own research, but like is there certain things you like to do? Is there certain ways you like to watch the market? Like how do you kind of exist in this space on a day-to-day level?
So coming from a YouTube background, kind of piggybacks on the do your own research thing. Do not fall for numbers. Look into what those numbers are. If a Discord has 50,000 people in the Discord and you go in the main chat and nobody's talked in a half an hour,
that's a red flag.
That's a red flag. Don't do, a Twitter page has 100,000 followers and they posted something a day ago and it has 22 likes. The numbers don't add up.
That's right.
There's just no way.
Right.
So look into the project. Don't just look at the face value. I've seen people get, fall for it before, and look into how much activity is actually around the project. I understand people have jobs and school.
It's hard.
And they're not going to be in the Discord 24/7.
Right.
But look at the follower count, look at the activity, look at the engagement. You can get a really good sense of how a project is doing in terms of that.
Right. And that's the one thing I don't think people on the outside realize. Like even me on my like small scale, I still get probably 20 or 30 messages a day of promoters. They're like, hey, I want to promote your channel for you, or I want to do this. I want to help you grow your numbers. And when you jump into a Discord and see 50,000 Discord members and nobody's talking, that's because it's likely full of bots or these fake profiles that these different promoters are using to help boost their numbers. And so you're absolutely right. I talk about it a lot, but like like look at the engagement versus the numbers. That's absolutely huge. All right, so we've talked about scammers, we've talked about all the different things. Now let's talk about the kind of details of your project, and let's talk about your mint dates, your prices, kind of what's going on with all that, and give us the full rundown. Like, tell us how we can be a part of your project.
All right, so Omni Legion, we have our pre-mint is going to be December 5th at 0.05 Ethereum. So we lowered the price for the pre-mint a little bit, so it incentivizes getting on that whitelist.
Right.
And if you're not able to get on the whitelist, then the actual mint date will be the day after on December 6th.
Okay.
And it's for 0.06 Ethereum.
Awesome. So one kind of last question, and it's funny, I see this in Discords, and it's one of those things that kind of drives me crazy. And I know what it is. It's people getting in that just want to be a part and that don't understand, but like, as a project owner and someone who, also is within your channel helping moderate and helping watch and that kind of thing, how do you get on a whitelist for a project? Like, what tips do you have for people? Because what drives me crazy is sitting in a Discord and somebody jumps and says, "Hey guys, how do I get on that whitelist? Y'all sign me up real quick." So, like, from your aspect, obviously that's not going to work. But tell us, like, what are mods looking for? What are you looking for when you're, aside from the game playing and maybe the giveaways and stuff, like in organic whitelist growth, what is it that you're looking for out of people?
Activity, passion behind the project, engagement in the project, somebody that's really backing the project. Like, those are the people you want investing in your project, because in the long run, those are the people that are going to stick around.
That's right.
Support the project, always have the project's back. Somebody, like you said, that just comes in, they've been in there for 30 seconds and all they're looking to do is just get on the whitelist so that they can make a quick buck or two. Of course, there's always going to be those people that are, they're looking to quick flip things, and there's no way around that in the space. But the people that really want to be around for the long haul and see the whole project play out and fulfill the roadmap and see the show go live on YouTube and all the things that we have planning, you want people that are passionate about it, that really believe in it. And, those are the things that we look for: the engagement, the passion, the love for the project.
Awesome. I love it. All right, guys. Now, listen, make sure you check out, I've got their Discord link below. I won't link anything else because, as we've talked about, if you want to find more information, go to their official links page and go from there. And that's the link you should always be looking at, is that main Discord link. So make sure you check that out. Check out Joe Knows on YouTube. Joe, man, I appreciate you taking time to be here. Honestly, like, I don't know what it's like to be, running a project like this, especially this close to mint, but I can imagine, like, it's chaos and you don't ever sleep and, that kind of stuff. So I really do appreciate the time.
No, absolutely. Thanks for having me on.
Absolutely. Okay, so we're gonna close this out, and I'll let you have the last line. But and I know you've probably never seen my videos, but what you need to know, the last line is, and you'll know when we get there. Like, I'll give you a cue, but it's, "And let's make the world a better place together." So that's gonna be your line. I'm gonna say the rest. Okay. All right, everybody. I love y'all. Thank y'all so much for watching. Now y'all know what to do. Go out there, do something good for somebody.
And let's make the world a better place together.
Nailed it, Joe! Woo! That was like that half-court shot.